Have you ever poured hours and hours into a game and then you tell someone about the game and they ask you about it and they ask you about a specific mechanic and you want to sit there and think to yourself, you know what? I don't know jack about this game. That's actually me when I started to research this video. The purpose of this video is about, it's supposed to be a beginner's guide when it comes to stats and attack types and things like that, and how to maximize your gameplay when it comes to Kardmi. Complete beginner's guide, really. But I found that the system in place in Kardmi is much more complex than I could have anticipated, and I think you guys are going to be surprised at some of the things that I found. Let's go ahead and jump into it. So I hear you in the comments already asking, Critical, what do you mean it's more complicated? It's just like Pokemon, there are only 6 stats. How complicated could it be? So, we're going to get started on these 6 stats because you are partially correct. Much like Pokemon, there are 6 base stats. So, starting us off with health, obviously this is going to dictate how many HP or health points any given Kardmi is going to have. And it's going to dictate their maximum, obviously. Moving on to attack. This, of course, determines how powerful the physical and what they call contact skills are going to do to another Kardmi. We'll get into physical and contact a little bit later on in the video. Moving on to special attack, because I'm sure we're all familiar with a lot of these. Special attacks determine how much damage your special attacks are going to do. Defense, on the defensive side, we have regular defense, which is going to determine how much physical and contact skill damage you're going to be able to repel. On the flip side, you have special defense, which dictates how much special defense damage you're going to be able to repel. So this is going to repel special and sound type skills. This is easy peasy lemon squeezy kind of stuff. Remedial Pokemon based knowledge that you just got. I just want to give everyone here a refresher, and if you're new to Kardmi and you actually haven't played in a creature collectors before, welcome. Great to have you. Glad I could sprinkle that knowledge on you. Let's move on to something that I found was really interesting. Now, there are actually 3 tiers when it comes to the stats for Kardmi. There's common, superior, and perfect. So if you'll go into Kardmi and you'll open up your game and you look at your stats, a lot of the times what you're going to see is you're going to see nothing behind the stat screen. You're just going to see stats. You're going to see a number. And that is going to be common. That's going to be the lowest tier stat that you can have, right? However, sometimes you'll notice, as you're out exploring, when you're capturing Kardmi, that you'll see that there will be a silver crown and a silver outline around a particular stat, maybe multiple stats. These are going to be superior. I guess you could say they're more uncommon than the commons. And very rarely, except for in alphas, you will see a gold crown and a gold outline around some stats. These are considered perfect stats. And this is why you really want to chase these alphas, because alphas will have at least a couple, if not 3 at least, stats, excuse me. Shinies, of course, have a very high chance to roll with almost perfect stats, if not perfect. I don't know for sure if they can roll with perfect. That's something I'm having to test and let you guys know in a later video, because I am working on a breeding video right now, thinking of how to get perfect statted Kardmi. But moving on from there, let's talk about something else I think it's really interesting and crucial for you to understand. I think it's extremely important to understand that if you go to the sundry shop, you will take note of these items called supplements. Supplements are these formulas that you can give your Kardmi that will allow you to increase the stats, or talents, as they're called in this game, of each Kardmi. And I believe each 40 points that you add to a Kardmi adds 1 additional point to that stat overall. That's just one of the many ways you can help increase the stats of your Kardmi. That, as the side was leveling, there's also the farm that allows you to buy different foods and craft different foods that will increase the stats of your Kardmi. There's multiple different ways that you can do it, but I think something that you need to be aware of that's even more kind of obscure than these stats is a little thing on the side of your stat screen that's going to say personality. There are over 20 different kinds of personalities in this game, and each one will give you a buff and a debuff to your Kardmi. And depending on what kind of Kardmi you have and what stats of that Kardmi are, it's going to be desirable or undesirable. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into, because these are brief descriptions. So let's go ahead and jump into these. Cautious will increase special attack but decrease speed. Irritable will increase attack but decrease speed. Fierce will increase defense but decrease speed. And gloomy will increase special defense but decrease speed. So what I've noticed is that there's a pattern. There's typically 4 buffs and 4 debuffs for each one. So for example, there's going to be 4 of them that debuff speed, and there's going to be 4 that debuff special defense, and so on and so on. So Wild increases attack, decreased special defense. Cunning increases special attack, decreases special defense. Quiet will increase defense, decreases special defense. Impatient increases speed, but decreases special defense. Alright, moving on to the ones that decrease your defense. We have persistent, which increases attack. Mischievous increases special attack. And doubtful, which increases special defense. Careless increases speed. Do keep in mind all the ones I just named decrease your defense alongside that. I think that's how I'm going to name it from now on, so I'm not just repeating the same debuff. Brave increases attack, but decreases special attack, which is all these that I'm about to name. The next 3 will decrease your special attack. So again, Brave increases attack. Honest increases defense. There's one there I can't see, but it also decreases your special attack and increases your special defense. If you guys know which one that is, let me know down in the comments. I'll actually pin it down in the comments as soon as I know for sure. Honest increases defense and decreases special attack. Prudent also increases your special defense. Lively increases speed. All of those will decrease your special attack. So the next 4 I'm going to name, the last 4, they're going to decrease your attack. Intelligent, you have increased special attack. Generous, you have increased defense. Shy, you have increased special defense. And alert, you have increased speed. So I hope I didn't say all those in too confusing of a manner. If you guys will go to the directory in your Kardmipedia, you can actually pull this up for yourself. No, you don't have to go there. Sorry. If you actually go to your stat screen and click on the personality, you can pull this up yourself and pull up a comprehensive list of what is what. That way you can see for yourself. What I was thinking about is the next thing I'm going to talk about, and it is the types of attacks. This will be the last thing we cover, because I feel like I was probably most surprised to learn about this, the amount of depth to it. So let's talk about attacks. So we have physical attacks, which are based on the attack stat. Along with that, we have contact, which is a physical attack that can trigger interactions. So any physical attack you have is going to be paired with contact. Sometimes you'll see effects that say when hit with a contact skill. So basically that is any physical attack. Alright, and that will trigger an interaction. We have transform. These are typically going to be stat buffs. They can be a stat debuff to your enemy, or it can be a stat buff to you. Also, they can change the weather on the battlefield. That's important to remember. So special attacks are going to be your elemental attacks. They're going to be your psychics, your fires, your ice coming in season 2, your wind attacks, things like that. Shield skills, these are going to be your shield skills that protect 1 or more Kardmi. Pretty straightforward. They're going to be your protection kind of abilities. Sound skills, I thought this was interesting as well. It's going to be a special skill that utilizes sound. Basically, it's just another, it's like the contact of special, if that makes any sense. And it is also going to be capable of interactions. To my knowledge, there's no sound-based interaction Yeah, well, Overload, I believe, is a sound-based one, but I think that's the only one that exists currently in game. But I could be wrong. Don't take my word on that. And then we have another one called Cutting, a physical skill that can cause interactions. And to my knowledge, again, there's no interactions that interact with cutting. But again, if you guys know better than that, let me know in the comments. I would love to learn something new. But guys, that is going to be it from me. There's been a ton of knowledge I've just thrown at you, rapid fire. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have, make sure you smash the like button. It really, really helps the channel. And I will catch you guys in the next one.